Howdy everyone, this is the DeWalt 20 volt atomic reciprocating saw and I think it's pretty awesome. Inside the box we've got the tool itself, the usual array of paperwork, a belt clip, a 6 TPI wood with nails blade, and an 18 TPI one for cutting metal. To install the clip you'll just need a number 1 or number 2 Phillips, or forgo it completely if you're trying to keep it as compact as possible. Alright guys, so initial building quality impressions on the DeWalt 20 volt atomic. I'm going to call it a hacksaw, even though I know that's kind of a Milwaukee brand term, but it's sort of the generic term I use for any one-handed reciprocating saw. Initial build quality is awesome. It feels super solid. We have a really comfortable grip on here with a nice rubber overmold. You have the lockout switch right there. You can permanently switch it off so you don't have to sit there and depress it every single time. Up front we have a swivel blade guard, I also call that. Yeah, so let's put a blade in it and put a battery in it. Tool changes are tool-less, like pretty much every other reciprocating saw made in the last 10 years. You just have a single thumb action lever there. There we go, we're in. It is very well balanced. The whole reason I bought this cordless reciprocating saw is because 90% of the times when I need a reciprocating saw, I don't need my big 10 amp one, and I don't feel like lugging out an extension cord to use it. So I actually wanted the most comfortable, portable, and ergonomic one possible, and wasn't really concerned about power. I wanted actually smaller, and this was pretty much the smallest one I could find. I compared it side by side with even the Milwaukee M12, and this was more compact. It can be used one-handed, which is a big requirement for me. You can also kind of stabilize it with two hands if need be. With the 1.7, it's pretty well balanced, but it is a little like motor forward heavy. If I pop that out and put a 5 amp hour on, it becomes like battery heavy. So sort of depending on where you like the weight distributed, depends on which one you'd use. I'll be using the 1.7 just because overall it's lighter and there doesn't appear to be an actual power difference. It is variable speed, so I can go about that slow, or that fast. We also have an LED work light up front that has a little time delay on it. I think it's about 5 seconds after you're done pulling the trigger, it will turn off. I really like reciprocating saws because they're pretty much the only cut anything tool in the shop. Got some wood with nails stuck in it? No problem. Got some black iron pipe that's a bit too long? No problem. But for me personally, most of my reciprocating saw use actually ends up being outdoors. Doing things like cutting branches or roots in the way of a trench are what this thing is made for. So after a couple days putting this thing through its paces, I can confidently say that it is one of my new absolute favorite tools. The thing is, I've always liked reciprocating saws. The truth of the matter is that they kind of fall in that one sweet spot, along with things like a little sledgehammer, or maybe a put out to pasture old corded circular saw. Things that you really don't feel too bad kind of abusing. Not saying I'm purposely going to go drop this into a puddle or leave it out in the rain, but I also don't feel the need to like baby it at all, and I feel like there's a certain amount of relief in that with tools. Some things like, I don't know, like your oscillating multi-tool where you have expensive blades and you do kind of fine work with it, you feel the need to take really good care of it. But this, I mean, it's meant to hack things apart, let's be honest. And the blades are cheap, and you really can't kill the things. It's super ergonomic. I kind of pointed that out earlier. You can hold it here, you can hold it here to get like a really good grip on it, or just hold a root, one hand, done. I kind of prefer the swivel guard on this one compared to Milwaukee that has a fixed one, but as I used it, I didn't really find that it made any difference at all. So if you're considering purchasing for that reason, I don't know that it actually makes any difference. But overall, compared to lugging out an extension cord or moving a generator close to where I'm working to take limbs off of trees, this is such a huge upgrade. And every now and then you buy a tool and then you think back to yourself, like, how did I do what I do without it? And that's kind of what I feel like with this now. Things like my table saw or my miter saw, I got them, and then I wondered, what did I do before I had this? And now I'm wondering, like, how did I really take off tree limbs or cut roots or do a real quick cut on a 2x4 with a nail in it without my cordless reciprocating saw? The fact that I, at one point, lugged this big two-handed thing around and had to plug it in, within 3 days, it went from what I did to kind of feeling archaic. So I love it. You should buy it.